Hey, having one of those days where I'm not feeling on the top of my game, so we're going to see how this reading goes. I've decided that I'm just going to do more, like, just generalized collective readings. If y'all like to see more specific, like, astrological sign-centered readings, please leave a comment in the chat and leave your specific sign for right now. And otherwise, I'm just going to do general readings. You know, whoever it resonates with, it resonates with. But the snow is melting. And, you know, life is returning back to normal, I guess. Because we had a bit of like an apocalypse in Louisiana. And I have been, you know, the last 2 days have been sort of in hermitage a little bit. Certainly interacting with people through text, but otherwise just not really engaging with people that much. And I noticed for myself, like, this is coming on day 3 and I'm really missing, like, that physical interaction. And if I don't get physical interaction, I start getting very, like, mopey. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. I get pretty mopey. So, I decided I was going to try and work through that today. I mean, I'm going to go to a yoga thing later on, which will help, but I was going to try and work through that by doing a reading. I'm trying to turn this into a daily practice, doing a video, which is harder to do than I thought it would be. And it's not because I don't think I can do the readings, but because when I want to do things, when I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea, I want to do that. Like, you know, the fire, I really get that fire in my belly and I commit to it really hardcore. But then there's always a point where I hit resistance and I go, you know, oh, I don't know if this is really, like, I don't know, like, if this is worth the effort or the time, or if I should be doing something different. And that's been like that's been a common cycle in my life. I guess that's the only way of putting it. That's been a common cycle in my life. And there have been times where I've needed to, like, you know, disengage from something, right? And go, okay, that's not working, you know. And then there are times where I'm just like, you know, I kind of go through self-doubt about my decisions. And, you know, reading tarot can help with that, but sometimes you kind of get, like, kind of flippy readings, you know? Like, before I started doing these videos, I actually did a reading, sun on the bottom of the deck, for myself to see, you know, oh, is this a good idea? And so maybe that's what we're going to do today. Maybe this reading is going to be for me. And maybe it'll be for you too, but primarily for me. And this will be a reading for me. It sounds so self-absorbed, but and the reading will be about, should I continue doing these YouTube tarot readings? And we're going to find out right here, right now. Right? Is this going to be the last video? So here comes personal card. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is a card of self-satisfaction, happiness, but particularly self-satisfaction. And what I get from this when I look at it for myself, it's a reminder of, like, why are you doing this? You're doing this because you enjoy the process. Have fun with it. And, you know, something that also comes up for Nine of Cups sometimes is possibly over-gratified. Like, sort of drinking from the fire hose. So that's the personal card. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, secret intentions. Um, yeah, secrets. But I'm like, what secret am I hiding? Um, yeah, sure. Like, I started these videos because some part of me was like, oh, maybe I could drum up business somehow, right? Do personal readings for people. That was certainly an idea. And I feel like this is often the case for anybody who does anything on YouTube, where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm doing it for myself, it's for fun, but secretly they're like, but really, really, I'm trying to turn this into a side hustle. This is really like, I'm secretly trying to take your money. Tarot is fun that way. Why have secrets? The devil. Wow. This is really holding my feet to the fire today. Let's see. The devil. The devil was Seven of Swords, too. Yeah, I want an audience. I want an audience that, join and subscribe. That's what I get from the devil card, is like, join and subscribe and I will have your money forever. Contractual obligations. Endorsements. And there's also like, what else do I mean, there is something else that I kind of get from the devil, which is, there has been an interpretation of the devil that I've seen that I kind of like, which is like Baphomet, right? The horned goat god. And Baphomet is, this isn't quite Baphomet because you got like the bat wings and stuff, but the way that I try and look at it is like, this is like some demonization of Baphomet that we see in the devil card being portrayed. So it's almost like, here's my interpretation. Temperance is like the light side of Baphomet, right? That's the patience, that's taking the time of, blending things together and finding the wisdom out of that. The devil card is like, fusing things together, forcing them together. So there's almost like a sense of, what I get out of this is like, I'm probably trying too hard. Four of Swords. That's take a break. Take a step back. Give it a rest. You're wearing your mind out. You're wearing your spirit out. And this is kind of leading to all this other stuff, right? You're not necessarily, I'm not necessarily enjoying the process, because this is why I started doing it in the first place. And yet, I want to do this as a daily thing. So this is kind of like I don't know, like this reading right now for me is becoming kind of a reassessment, right? And King of Pentacles. Yeah, I certainly have the capacity to do it, to show up every day and do a reading. Now the question is like, what am I building? What am I manifesting? What do I want to create out of this? Because yeah, like starting from here, going to here, but on the way is like this stuff. And this is like, I don't know, this is my reading going like, well, okay, take an assessment. What is it that is influencing you right now? Because it's turning into sort of like internal emotional turmoil. And maybe you need to, take a little bit of a step back and contemplate on it. Kind of want one more card, though. So, Ten of Swords, end of cycles, betrayal. Um, Man, what a negative reading. I mean, there's some good stuff in here, but there's a lot of, wow. Oh, Ten of Swords, especially with Devil and Seven of Swords on the table. To me, I look at that and I go, you know, you want to be here, but you're betraying yourself by not sticking to this, like not doing it for the fun, right? And having these like other, what would you call it? Like ulterior motives, right? So, I guess you know, if I were to pull another card at this point, my other question would be, all right, other than like take a break, any other advice on what I could do right now? 10 of Cups. 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups. That's like, put to rest your ego and like follow your bliss. Because this is definitely like ego. You know, I say put it to rest, but it's like, you know, figure out where your ego is kind of getting in the way. Where you find yourself like kind of stealing, right? Stealing from your own happiness. And I'm sure you could apply this to anybody who is posting videos on YouTube or Instagram or anywhere. Anybody who's doing any sort of creative endeavor, right? And this has been for me, this for me has been a huge, I don't know, not a battle, but like a huge struggle right now, because I have been in this place of just like rest and pulling back from all of these endeavors that I had been entrenching myself into, and I had burnt out. And so I've been caught in the cycle for years and years and years of, you know, trying to constantly find things to do, latch on to, and not really nurturing myself. Not really like doing it in a way that's sustainable. That ultimately for me led to my burnout while I was working on The Legend of Redneck. Like, that story remains unfinished, and it may still remain unfinished for a long time, if maybe the rest of my life. I just simply cannot get myself to engage with it. And so I wanted to do tarot reading videos as a way to at least re-engage with something creative. You know, practice reading, hopefully offer something of value to other people who could use, I don't know, some kind of whatever in their life right now. Because for me, tarot readings were hugely important in regards to helping me process through stuff. Yeah, I don't know. This one's kind of hitting me a little bit because I'm finding myself I'm finding myself like really wanting to do a little bit of soul searching the rest of the day. And still gonna go to yoga though. And I think ultimately, like, what is this for me? I have some ideas, right? I have a couple ideas of what this is for me. It's just felt like the road getting there has been so I don't know. I think I did a reading recently where I was talking about that in regards to you get caught up into the struggle of work and making ends meet, and you get really focused on that, and you don't just take a step back and look at it as a process that's taking place outside of yourself, right? Like, you get yourself so involved into the process that you think it's all of you, right? That everybody around you, you know, I think that this is a problem. This can commonly be a problem for people who sort of get into the whole manifesting thing, is that they get into this idea of like people are orchestrating themselves around their desires. And it's not really like that. It's like you're just aligning and matching up with people who have similar desires, who resonate similarly. And so you have to be very careful, because you can get in this kind of mindset, right? Where you have kind of like an internal sneakiness. And in some sense, it's sort of betraying your desires. Because let's say that you're working on calling in love into your life. Well, yes, you know, you can do the what do you call it? The affirmations, the positive thoughts and all that stuff, but it still requires action on your part to connect with people. It still requires also a sense of humility to understand, like, love requires patience and time and understanding and putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Because it may not happen all at once. It may take a long time. It may even be difficult at times. Like, yeah, you're going to get here, but there's still... You got to work through all this stuff. You got this going on in your heart, right? Same with money. Same with anything that you engage with life. I guess that's the reading. Well, this turned into a heavy one. Yeah, like I said, that's going to be, this reading's going to be on my mind a little bit for the rest of the day. If it resonated with you in any way, feel free to leave a comment. And like and subscribe if you want. I don't know. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. So, a day later after recording that video, I guess I should give some context for a lot of like my emotional states in that video, because a big part of it was that I had uploaded 2 videos and saw that like there were only 1 view on each video, and those views were my views, because what I usually do is I'll upload a video and then I'll watch it just to like do a review, right, of how was my performance, how did I deliver the reading, right? And also just to give myself a view, you know, for my own, just to help myself out. And what I realized, when I was looking at those two videos, I was like, oh wait, they're still private. Like they never got published. They never got publicly published. And I thought that was kind of interesting because, like, you know, you look at the devil card and there are those chains. There's like a lock, right? And that's the symbol, right, for private is it's a lock. And so, I don't know, maybe that was the reading trying to tell me something like, hey, dummy, like you're not paying attention. You're hiding something from yourself. There's information that you're not even aware of. And so it's like I look at the reading now, it's like, okay, you're not even the reading's like you're not even paying attention to why you're not happy right now, and you just need to take a break. Like you're just not even, you know, I don't know what that would have to do with the Ten of Swords though. That part I'm like, maybe that's putting to death like an old mindset or something. So that part I'm still kind of working out for myself for that reading. But this little addition is just to give you more context. And to also kind of give you an idea of just like how tarot readings can be, where you may not have all of the ideas, the results, the answers all in the initial moment of the reading. It may come later on where you're just like, oh wait, like wait a minute. So I think that I'm taking this weekend off of doing readings. Like I have like a, I don't know, like an ottoman or whatever. Like it's clearly like an ottoman that somebody designed to like hide their drugs in. But instead of drugs, I just hide like my tarot decks when I don't want to like interact with them. So I put them away for the weekend. I'll come back to them on Monday, and just taking a little break for myself, because I think, you know, looking back, I'm kind of like, oh, you know, I did kind of get a little bit distraught over something that really isn't that big of a deal ultimately. And me kind of react, because what happened for me is when I saw that there was only like one view on each of those videos, I was like, oh, maybe people don't like the videos anymore, and I'm just like wasting my time and wasting everybody else's time. And that's been kind of a thing for me that I've been working through, where I just like, if I don't see immediate results on something, I start to think, oh, this is a waste of time. I shouldn't even bother. And so that's a clear sign of just like, you know, feeling a little bit like I'm pushing myself too hard, having too high of an expectation as well. I think that's another part of it. So, yeah, I mean, I hopefully this video has been useful to you in some way of like how tarot can be useful for like working through emotional difficulties, or working through just personal or even interpersonal just hang-ups, right? In some way, you know, it's like you can almost use tarot to help with accountability, which is really fascinating to me. So anyway, that's it. Hope you're having a great whatever's going on. I hope it's great. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.